What is going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 73 of Damn That's Good with Big Selena's Barbecue. And just in case you didn't know, oh, you still sucks. But welcome to episode 73. I'm Randy, of course, joined by Junior and Ed. We got a good, fun episode for you. Of course, we had no idea what we're going to talk about. Like we always do, we're just going to wing it. So without further ado, let's get this show started.
Hey, how's it going? So, welcome in. Last episode, we just kind of talked about what we were just kind of getting to know us. I even forgot. See, just getting to know us. Talked about some of our favorite things. We got some questions we're gonna run through here, but let's just get to it. I think let's just jump right into it. I haven't cooked anything new other than a steak. What about y'all? I'm
Yeah,
never
you ain't
home.
lying there. Steaks,
I'm
that's all you
never
got to eat.
home. I'm never home enough to do like ribs or something because as soon as I want to do something, weekend, here we go, here we go, here we go. We got this, and this, and this. So never can experiment. But what you been cooking? You cooked some crappy steaks yesterday. I know that.
You ate them. Your daughter ate them.
She eats anything.
It was
It's
all
not saying a
gone.
lie. It's not saying a
Yeah, I
lie.
cooked some steaks. Cooked some chicken wings. What else I cooked? I think that's basically it. Uh, yeah, smoked some partially frozen chicken wings. Come out real juicy when they're kind of frozen. They still come out really really good. They cook about the same, about 30-40 minutes, depending on the size of the wing, and how hot you want that drum. What else did I cook? I think that's it. Yeah, that's everything I could. What you cook up, Ed?
I did breakfast, couple of them breakfast sandwiches. Did some homemade fresh biscuits this weekend, which Junior was super jealous about. Get on my level, Junior. Start cooking some stuff, and then
Damn.
I ain't doing no biscuits. That's where I draw the line.
come on, you need a biscuit. And then I did buffalo ranch chicken melts last night for dinner. So
Okay,
there you
he's
go.
he's getting ready for the Royal. That's all he's doing. He
Got
just
to get
get
prepped. Got to be ready.
yeah.
Although I will say, I've been seeing a lot of pizzas on grills for the past couple weeks on TikTok, on Facebook. I know it's not a new trend, but I don't know why I'm seeing it all of a sudden. So I might have to give that a try uh, one day this week.
Yeah, I don't think they haven't come across my page. Of course, I've tried it a couple times and they've come out burnt on my end. Uh, but that's on me because I get the grill too hot. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like it would be I
Mm-hmm.
feel like it would be hard to dial in with that because you never
yeah,
know if you're too hot or too cold until it's too late.
yep. Till it is too late.
I don't know. Sure, that's a good idea. Make some pizzas on the grill. That's a great idea.
Right? I saw it and I was all, this seems like a good idea.
It
Yep.
seems like it, but yeah, no, I've done it where it's turned out pretty decent, and then I've turned out with like Randy, and it's cooking in 2 minutes, and the bottom is black as can be. You're scraping
Yep.
I
everything off.
I'm
So
curious if a pizza stone would make any difference there, with kind of shielding the bottom of the pizza, but at the same time keeping that consistent heat.
if it's hot, because that's what we have here, we bought like a kit for the Weber.
Right.
I'm sure they have them for your size as well.
Sure.
Um, it has a pizza stone in it, and if it's too hot, it will cook it super duper fast.
Yep.
But it's one of those things where I haven't gotten it in where I've dialed it in where it can just be a nice, consistent, either one side or the other is cooked a little bit more. But sometimes I've done a better job on it than others, but it's definitely worth bringing it back out, giving it a shot.
Yeah.
Right on.
I know they make a difference in the drum. I've cooked them on a drum and cooked them with no problem. Um, Now, of course, I didn't make all the pizza dough, so it kind of helped it out a little bit. But I think that's the difference if you use actually homemade pizza dough or the store bought pizza dough. You do
Right.
have more than you do, the ones that's already baked that you just gotta heat up. Um,
Sure.
but I mean, it comes out really good. Definitely hit it with some barbecue sauce. Your favorite barbecue rub. I would prefer that cowabunga rub on it.
Yeah.
But hey, hit that pizza however you want it. And of course, put some pineapple on it just for Junior.
No, don't put no pineapple. That's not a pizza. That's dessert. Ain't no pizza on that shit. That's like eating something with cream. What is it? Blue cheese? The hell no. You don't eat no wings with no blue cheese.
Oh, here we go again.
Yeah, I gotta keep it going. No, no, definitely. That may be something we experiment with one day. Definitely see about it. I haven't done any barbecue sauce on it to try it. I've just tried to make your traditional pizza and go from there. Try not to get too fancy with it yet. Let me get it down. But I go with the store bought, already laid out crust. That way we can just kind of top it and get going to it.
Yep.
When I'm ready to eat, I'm ready to eat.
Correct. I'm not
Exactly.
I'm not trying to let it rise and throw it. I ain't trying to do all that.
Now that I gotta see.
I ain't gonna do it. You ain't gonna have to see it. So I'm not gonna do
Post
it.
that on TikTok.
Yeah.
I'll do it. Stick to the thing.
It'll probably come down and hit eating on the head. Daddy.
Probably. But hey, she'll laugh and tell me, do it again, do it again. So all will be well.
Yeah, that she will. But let's dive into our first topic of the day. What you want to talk about first?
Let's go with. I know we had some questions. I think Ed had a question. I had a question. We'll do mine first. It's your. I need a one topic, one answer of a do this. You do this all the time, or you would recommend somebody doing it. And then when you're barbecuing, or you don't do this. And this is again our recommendations and our recommendations alone. Do what you feel is best for you and your family. What are yours? Because I want to be last. I'm always leading it off.
What's your
Without
question?
copying each other, what do you got? My don't is start anything with lighter fluid. Period.
Well, that
You
was
got
my dude. Use a lot of lighter fluid.
All of the lighter fluid.
That's what he
The
does.
whole
Don't use
container.
lighter fluid. That thing smells nasty. I can still smell it from a couple weeks ago, but uh, definitely, like I said, you've heard us mention all kind of fire starters and Texas Legend bags and tumbleweeds and all this other stuff that you have to do it. Take a little time, get it started the right way. And like I said, plus when you get that going, I like about it is you start it that way. Usually takes 15-20 minutes to kind of get it going, and then plus another 7 to 10 minutes maybe to get it up to the temperature you want. That's plenty of time to get some meat going, get your stuff seasoned. If you still have prep work to do, you can do that, and then you're ready to rock and roll. So my don't would be lighter fluid. What's your don't? We'll go this way. Randy.
Go what way? We may be
Bueller.
older than what you
Bu-
think.
Bueller.
We doing a do and a don't?
I don't right now.
Let's see.
Your
Hold on, let me
do,
think.
a don't would be don't follow any recipes that Randy gives you, period.
You don't listen to what the recipes I give you anyway. You don't. That's why I don't give
It got dark in here real quick. All the
Darn.
shade right there.
My dude don't do anything with Junior because he's a pain in the
Yeah.
butt.
Don't do nothing with me. That's for sure.
Don't. Well, what is a don't? A don't. I would probably say don't listen to all the videos out there on TikTok, YouTube, podcasts to kind of take your own. Try everything out. So don't see something and go by. Oh, this person says I can't not to do this. Don't do that. Try it just so that you have the knowledge of it. Or do your own research. So sometimes people will put out some misinformed information, and then they'll change their minds once they actually try doing something. Um, so that's my don't is just don't listen to everything. Kind of do your own research and just try it out.
Yeah, I'd say mine's along the same line is don't think that your way is the only way to do it. So experiment, play with different
Yep.
techniques, different, different stuff. So don't lock yourself into one wood or one charcoal brand or one, anything along that line. Don't lock yourself in so much. Be willing to experiment.
I would agree because yeah, people would like to say, "Oh, well, this person's doing it; it's going to work for me," or "This is how they do it." Whether it be competition cooks, backyard cooks, or whatever videos you see, just remember they might have more experience, or they might not be using. Oh, I'm doing this brisket, but they don't tell you what kind of brisket they're using, so you might not get the same results. But definitely experiment and do what you have to do. Switching gears, what is your I've got to do? What would you do? What would you recommend somebody say, hey, do this on it? Well, do you have a do? Did we just kind of answer our do's and don'ts the same way?
Mine,
No,
I'd
my
say,
do is
is go ahead.
uh,
Oh,
mine is whenever you get done with the meat, so like with the brisket, when the brisket is pro tender, actually pick it up and feel it, so that way you can get that kind of like that muscle memory of, hey, this is where what the doneness I'm looking for. Same thing with ribs when they're done. Pick them up and feel them, so that way you can kind of get used to it. So that way you don't always have to probe it. You can just go by feel and know um, what you're looking for. Um, so that's my do. Just kind of make sure you're actually when everything's done, you're going through the motions of seeing, okay, how does it feel, how tender is it, and just kind of going through that same muscle memory.
I like
Yeah,
it.
I'd say mine is along the same as my don't though. Is try new stuff. Do something. Try new equipment. If you're always using a kettle, try a drum. Do an offset. Do a pellet grill for all I care. Uh, be willing to kind of try new things when you're cooking.
Absolutely, definitely, and I mean the try that goes along the lines of same thing as try different seasonings. Hey, I've always used
Right.
this combination, and you can do something. I mean, if you like it and that's what you go with, then go with it. Definitely, my do when you're doing stuff like that is, uh, you know, do things twice. So if you cook a brisket, try it, say, hey, it didn't turn out right. Ask those questions at which we get it asked all the time at church and stuff. What this and that? Hey, well, you didn't let it rest long enough, or you maybe you didn't do that. Try it again twice. Don't give up on it just because you failed the first time, or didn't come out exactly how you saw it in a video, which goes back to the don'ts. But like I said, it's definitely all three are very good. Experiment with new things, different seasoning and rubs. We'll be the first to tell you we use ours, and then we'll mix it with something else, just because we like that flavor combination. So don't be afraid to get out there and do it. But again, give it to tries, and of course you can hit us up if you have questions if something didn't turn out quite the way you wanted. But don't give up on your cooking. It takes time. Some
As
longer
long
than
as you are cooking,
others.
right, Junior?
Don't be like me. I only cook what my daughter eats, and she
There
don't
you go.
make. So, and there's no sense for me to cook a whole brisket. So I've gone to HEB, and tried to find the what is it, the point of it, the flat of it. Trying to find the little briskets that are already trimmed up that would be perfect size for us to eat, because I don't need a whole brisket. But I've thought about getting one and maybe grinding it up, doing some hamburgers or something like that, and cooking what I need. So, uh, but we'll share that for a different topic once I do it. But I'm not going to do it before the Royal, knowing that we're going to leave here in a few weeks. But what you got, Ed? You had a question, didn't you? I think I read it, maybe.
I said, when you are cooking, what are your preferred side dishes to do with your barbecue? What are you what are you doing at home? What are you doing, if you're out with friends or over at family's house, what's your go-to or preferred side dish?
What's a side dish?
Bingo. Done. If I am, it depends on. Okay, so we don't eat out. I mean, I'm looking at some pictures, and I could easily say, oh, like fried okra or something like that would go right. But it's not something that we tend to make. We have to go buy it. So I would say for me would be corn, and I'd be good with corn and like some mashed potatoes of some kind. Whether it's baked potato, mashed potatoes would be my side to go with. What about y'all? My two.
I was waiting for beans to come out of Junior's mouth. He says only for comp. I'll pull that out for comp, and that's it.
Only that's it. No, beans would be a good third, I think. But if I'm choosing that, it's definitely uh, corn or mashed potatoes. If I'm going out, like if we went to Hard Eight and stuff like that, we went to some places to eat for barbecue or something, I will order the beans, especially when they say they got good baked smoked beans, because I want to taste it out. Let me see what they have to offer, and I'll never order it again. So that's my thing for that. So. But that's my thing. Like I said, those are, I would say, I guess you could say my three favorite. But what about you?
I'm going mac and cheese. Because I can, whether you're doing it inside or whether you're smoking it, it kind of is one of those dishes that is hard to mess up, but also can go wrong real easy. But then, like you, I'd say the corn, especially my street corn.
Oh yeah.
And then last, I'd say potatoes. You can't go wrong. It doesn't matter how you cook them, whether it's fries or a baked potato or mashed potato. You can't go wrong. That's an easy crowd favorite. Everybody's gonna be happy with whatever you roll up with. Let's hear yours, Randy. What do you got?
Randy.
Some tater tots and some mac and cheese.
All right.
That's what I would go with.
Tater tots. Okay. I like it. I can do that. Tater tot. So I was looking it up here, and they said the top 3 most used for barbecue is potato salad, coleslaw, and pinto beans. Coming in close would be collard greens, mac and cheese, Brussels sprouts, and even broccoli salad. I don't know what Texas Monthly is thinking personally. That's the source. I can see potato salad. It's a common favorite at ones. Coleslaw, it's got to be a certain kind. But Randy doesn't like potato salad at all. So
I'm not a big potato salad person either.
Yeah.
If I want potatoes, I want my potatoes warm. I don't necessarily want cold potatoes.
Yep.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Coleslaw is one of those. If it's made right, it can be good. But I don't know. It seems like my luck. I always get the places that have big chunks of stuff in their coleslaw, and I'm like, it's supposed to be shredded. Like, cut it down a little bit.
Nonsense. You don't like raisins in your coleslaw or potato salad?
Oh, boy, bite your tongue.
I'm white. I'm not that white, though. Jeez.
Bite your tongue. Potatoes. That's why we never go to the cookout. Bite your tongue. Right. No, definitely no raisins and nothing like that. No. It's got to be, like I said, it's got to be. I like the mashed potatoes or baked potato. You can't go wrong with it. So, the corn, when Ed throws down his street corn, it's hit with all the parties. The last time he made a big old pan. It was gone. So, he didn't make enough.
Apparently, I didn't make enough.
See, with sides too, is it one of those things that you can think I made a lot and you turned out you didn't make enough, and then there's times you will make a lot of it and you have a ton of it left. For example, the catering job we did, there was a lot of sides left. Not that we didn't serve our portions bigger than what we would do, but there was just a lot left,
Yeah.
which happens. Better to have too much than not enough, especially at a catering thing. But what you got, Randy? What's your question?
I don't have no question no more.
Never has.
You don't like me no more.
Never.
We're on topic of favorite sides and all that. What's the best dessert?
Mhm.
And there's only one true answer. And
Banana
that's called
pudding.
banana pudding.
Negative.
Well, what is it? What's your favorite?
Dessert at like for barbecue, or are we just talking in general?
We talk. This is a barbecue show, ain't it?
I don't know. Ed's kind of cheesecake thing right there. I'm always good for a good cheesecake, smoked cheesecake that he threw down. That was pretty good. It's a hard thing to make, so but I would say, yeah, I guess you could go with banana pudding as far as just the easiness of making it. Chelsea's would be s'mores because you have an open fire. I can just roast some s'mores.
I mean, yeah, I get it.
Smoked pecan s'mores.
Yeah, I don't.
It's like I said, if you're going just simplicity of it, yes, banana pudding because it's there. If you're going, you want to do some more complex things, you could go. You can go banana pudding or chocolate pudding or something like that. But a good ice cream would work too. But but a cheesecake, a smoked cheesecake, if you can throw it down. Some people will get the pre-made ones already and then smoke it for a little bit. But you got to be careful, obviously. So. Because it can go bad quick.
I'd probably go smoked cheesecake, maybe like some sort of cobbler or pie that you can throw on, get some smoke on it. Like I know blackberry cobbler is a big one that at places that I've been for barbecue that seem to be on the menu on a regular basis. Or peach cobbler, I guess peaches,
peach cobbler is on there.
especially here in Texas, that's a big one.
Yeah, it's on every menu. The peach cobbler and banana pudding, and those are the two main ones that I've seen.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you get some ones that have the fried pies.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't turning down a fried apple pie, so
no.
Hell no.
Turn it down. Well, since you're on it, what's your favorite beverage of choice while eating some barbecue? Not cooking it. That's a different story.
A Dr. Pepper.
I feel like that's a lie.
I think it's not. Because we were there. We were drinking before during the game when the game kind of started. And then we ate, and he went straight to Dr. Pepper when he started eating. He stopped drinking and went to Dr. Pepper.
All right, fair enough. I'll give him a pass on that one.
I think the only time he doesn't is when he's at a competition. He will then throw down some. He'll stay with some beer and stuff. But for me, yeah, sweet tea, diet, Dr. Pepper, Coke Zero, something. If that's what I want to go with. If not, whatever beer I have in my hand. Maybe take a break, get some food in, and then go back to drinking once you're done.
Yep.
Always a fan favorite. What about you, Mr. Ed?
I'd probably say some sort of soda of some kind, or honestly, at that point, if I'm eating, I probably need to rehydrate. So I'm gonna go with a classic. I'm gonna say water.
Why he rehydrates.
That's right.
That's a good one. Water's not bad. I mean, it depends on especially out there. Now, I was listening to the radio, and they said it is impossible to churn barbecue out that's good when you're drunk. Is that a true statement or a false statement? What do y'all think? I'm not giving my answer is probably true because it depends on how drunk you are.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of a broad
I've had some
statement
people's
because
drunk barbecue before. I won't mention any names because you never know, they might listen. And I would say that could be true because it's true.
yeah, I'd almost say it depends. Like if you're just casually having one or two every once in a while you're like in the middle of your smoke, again, depending on how long you're going for, uh, is going to be really dependent on it too, right? Like
Yep.
if you're going hot and fast, you're going to have a lot less to drink than if you're going low and slow and doing a 16-hour smoke or something. So
What if you drunk and then start to prep and cook? Because I agree. If you're
yeah,
like us, Randy's going to be, and we're going to be 100% sober. We're going to get the stuff prepped. We're going to get the stuff cooking, put it on there. And then from there, it's kind of just, you're going to fight with the temperature. So you can kind of have beers as you go from there. Now, if you're drunk before and then you try to cook, yeah, it's probably
no,
I think
that's right
that's
there. That's the
disaster
kicker.
ready to happen.
Is if you're already hammered by the time you're in prep.
Let's cook a brisket.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
right. Yeah, if you're at that point, then yeah, definitely not going to be good barbecue.
No.
Turn in those 4-hour briskets.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's possible.
You
It
might be
depends
able to
on.
cook it in 3
Yeah.
if you waste it.
Johnny Mags has said he's heard people cook it in 2 on the big green eggs.
Yep.
Just to see if they can do it. I don't have that kind of money to just see if we can
their
do
own.
it.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to waste that kind of money on a brisket just to try a 2-hour smoke.
Yeah.
What I mean, I guess so. I mean, but I don't know. But what is we're talking briskets? Glad you brought it up. What is your steps when a brisket? Do you wrap it always? Do you not wrap it always? What do you do? What's your steps in cooking it, Mr. Randy? And then we'll circle around the room real quick.
I mean, it just depends on how the brisket's cooking. I mean, you can't rush the process. I mean, depending on what kind of bark you're wanting. If you want the darker bark, you can kind of let it go. Sometimes, some catering jobs, the brisket doesn't ever get wrapped until it comes off. I've done it where you just put it in a foil boat, and that's come out really good. Sometimes, if it's been in there for quite a while and I got the bark I want, I'll wrap it. So I mean, I'm always constantly changing depending on how the brisket's cooking. The temperature will affect it. If it's colder outside, it's going to be gonna take a little bit longer. If it's hot outside, it may cook a little quicker. So I don't really have a set process. It changes each time I cook. What about you, Ed?
Mr.
Yeah,
Ed.
I don't know if I have a go to every time, because it's going to depend on the meat, right? If
Yep.
it's cooperating, then I may not have to wrap it at all. If I do wrap, I tend to want to use butcher paper over foil, but I think that just comes down to personal preference, honestly. I'm not sure that makes a huge difference or not.
Yeah, I don't think it does.
I don't think so. I've seen videos where people will experiment and start it at the same time and give it equal amount of smoke and equal amount of this and that. I mean, they do everything equal, and they said they could taste a little bit of a different. But to me, it's use what you have. Hey, I don't have butcher paper. Don't run out to the store and get some, especially if you're ready to take it off and wrap. Do your checklist before. I think would be the only thing is see what you're gonna do, see what you want to wrap it with, and then go from there, because it goes the same thing with like ribs. We've cooked ribs where we've wrapped them, we've cooked ribs where we haven't wrapped them, and just cooked them to temp. So for sure, I agree. Foil, butcher paper. I think everybody uses butcher paper just because it's standard, or people
Yeah,
think it's the
smoke it out.
standard, but it all prevents smoke from getting more smoke getting to it and allows the cooking process. So at the end of the day, it kind of does the same thing.
Yep.
I think the only difference that really that I have from what Randy has is I prefer a low and slow on a brisket, preferred over a hot and fast. That's really, I think, and that's something we've talked about, just personal preference again. If you have more time to do it, like typically when I'm doing it, I'm only doing it for myself, my wife, or a small handful of people. I'm not really doing it for you know
For a lot.
a catering or for or for a comp. I'm not in that kind of time constraint. I have a little bit more freedom with it for that, but I think it's just personal preference. At the end of the day, I've had briskets of Randy's that are fantastic. I've had some of mine that are great. I've had other people's brisket that I just don't care for.
He's never had mine because I don't ever invite him, because he never
That's right.
invites us when he cooks his
Yeah.
nice and fancy stuff. Go check out his Instagram. He's got, I don't know if he puts it on Instagram anymore, his pictures, but if
Yeah.
not, he needs to. And you'll see what we're talking about. It looks delicious. So that's good advice. Like I said, it's there. Brisket is just one of those things that, yeah, like I said, I don't need a big old brisket for me, the wife, and the little one. Now, granted, she could probably eat her fair share of brisket if it's cooked right.
Yep.
And that's the funny thing, is if it's cooked right, she will eat it. If it's not, she won't eat it. She knows what good brisket is and what isn't good brisket. She even said she liked Randy's brisket better than mine this weekend, but she liked my steak better. So I'll take the win and the loss, I guess. We'll go 1-1 after there. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. And we always say it here, if your family likes it cooked that way, then do it, because you're the one spending your money on these briskets, not me. So
Yep.
my thing, those are expensive too.
Yeah, I don't think we can't stress that enough. No matter what you're cooking, the only thing that matters is how you and your family. If as long as you and your family enjoy it,
Yeah.
you know, it's like the whole spritz don't spritz, no binder, putting the binder on. It don't make a difference. It may make a little difference here and there, but a big difference, no, because the end result both times are going to be, they're both going to turn out really good.
Well, you could do the same thing. You could do the same thing twice, and it not be the same
Yep.
as your last cook. So
Yeah.
it may work this time. It may not work next time.
Facts.
Yep.
What do you look for? Because, like I said, when I look at a brisket, I haven't bought a full one in a long. I think it's when almost a year ago when Kroger said they were on sale, and y'all remember that big old sale. I bought one, went in and bought one, cooked it, and had it for a while. What are you, when you're looking at the brisket and you're going to buy one? What are you looking for? And a whole brisket. Obviously, like I said, for me, I'm only looking at the kind of the fatty, lean side of it. That's what's best for me. I like the fat part. My wife likes the lean part. So that's all I'm looking at. I'm looking at the little portion of it, and that's it. Like I said, I might buy a big one just to grind up some of it, make some hamburgers or something with it. Not sure yet, but what do y'all look for when you're purchasing a brisket?
I'll let Randy go first on this one.
Oh, okay. I was going to let you go first. Whatever.
Wow.
I mean, half the time I'm just looking to see how big the flat is, especially if I'm picking it up for competition or for catering. I want a big, thick flat all the way around, or as close as I can get it. But a good tip is look at the fat content on the flat to see if you can see the striations. The more intermuscular fat that you can see, the juicier the brisket is going to be. But I mean, sometimes I've had some bad briskets that most people wouldn't buy, and I've been able to cook them, have them come out really good. Especially those Kroger specials. Most of the time, some of the catering I do is the Kroger specials because they come out just as good as the prime briskets as everybody else. So you're able to save yourself some money, help your profits out, and then you're able to set help the bride and groom out with some of their cost. So I mean, you can't go wrong with any kind of brisket. Just pick it up, Trim it nice and good, and put some love onto it, and you're good to go. It'll come out good. It may
Yeah, I
take you a
think
little bit.
definitely. I think one thing with briskets is they're inherently going to be a fattier cut of meat.
Yep.
So whether you're choosing a choice or a prime or a wagyu, either way, you're getting a piece of meat that has a large fat content in it. Um, so to me, it's if you want to indulge and spend a little bit more on a prime, will it be a little bit more tender? Maybe, but for me, I'm probably going to go with whatever's cheaper based on how long I'm going to cook it anyway. So that's
Yeah.
me. What are your guys' thoughts on the bend test for the briskets?
That's trying to be retarded.
Mm-hmm.
As people say, they go in there, if it doesn't bend and touch, then it's not a good brisket. I would say that it's not packaged very well if it bends like that, because if it's vacuum sealed and it's tight and you got a good seal on it, it really shouldn't bend when you buy it. But that's me.
I don't know that I would want
It,
my brisket to
yeah.
bend while it's in its
Yeah. It's
cryo
gonna.
bag.
Most of them are gonna bend. Now the ones that are wanting to, have it fold over like a taco is because they don't want a lot of fat on there.
Yeah,
Um, and most of the time, those are the ones that they've come already. They've already been cut open, trimmed, and vacuum sealed back.
right.
Um, I've said it time or two before is I'll just pick out a brisket and I'll throw it over my shoulder and then it'll bend a little bit. It'll kind of make a little bit of a U shape. And that's when I know that the cook's gonna be good. Especially when you put one or two or three on your shoulder and you get them all to kind of fall in line and start bending a little bit. Then I don't, I rather have a lot of fat on the outside because I know I'm going to be able to trim it off versus having a little fat and then you go to cook it and all of a sudden now it affects the meat because you don't have that
Yeah.
good amount of fat to actually protect the meat.
So
I'm
kind of
not I'm
along
not
those
scared. I'm scared of it.
sure, along those same lines though, what are your thoughts on? I know, like I saw this past weekend when I was at HEB, they had pre-trimmed briskets. What are your thoughts there? Because not everybody feels as confident to to trim down their own briskets. So I'm curious your thoughts there.
There ain't
I
nothing
don't
wrong
see an
with it.
issue. I don't see an issue with, like, that's what I look at. Obviously with HEB, they're already all, some of them are pre-trimmed, the little
Okay.
portions, and there's some big ones that are pre-trimmed. I would check the price on it, see what the difference is, because sometimes there's a huge difference in price. If the price is only a few, bucks more, and that's within your budget, then I would say go for it. But if you feel confident and to do it, then obviously save some money and go there. But it's not an issue. Like I said, I think to me is like, when are you looking to cook it? Are you looking to buy it
Yeah.
and then season it and cook that sucker overnight and get it going? Then save yourself some time and go for it. But
Yep.
that's just one of those that goes back to the, hey, try it again, because it's going to be a different process than if you've
Yeah.
trimmed it. Then they might have taken off too much, because I think I showed pictures of one and Randy goes, "You took off too much fat," and I was like, "It was pre-trimmed. That's how it came." So, because once the fat's off, you can't put it back on.
First of all, I didn't say that because I had already known. You already told me.
I have the text, sir.
Which let's see it.
On Facebook. On Facebook.
Okay
Follow me on.
then. See, that's how you know when you're lying. Catch them in a lie.
He said, "I think you took off a little too much fat, but it looks good." And that's when I said no. But or they did something like
Yeah,
that.
someone else did.
So, someone else,
But
Yeah.
anywho, um, we did have a question I did see pop up from my buddy Chris Holder. Um, I guess this is mainly for me because y'all can kind of chime in. So I'll give y'all a chance to put a little input. But he asked, "Do y'all put altitude into cook temp and time? So if you're in a different climate, are you gonna try to take account for that? What's y'all opinion? Y'all
I'll tell
got
you
one?
right now, I don't know that I'm the best cook in the
Mhm.
world, and that I don't know that I'm taking into account. I think if I'm way high up in an altitude, then I might take it into account a little bit, but it's mostly going to be the oxygen at that point. Like
Yep.
my fire is going to burn a little bit less in that condition. That would be the only thing that I would take into consideration at that time is I'd be watching my temp a little bit closer. That's
Yeah.
other than that, no, I'm going to cook on like I normally do.
Yeah.
Now, I agree. Would it change the temp and cooking time if you like hung the meat up, like you've seen on some of these videos where they're hanging the meat, they're hanging the ribs or something like that? Rotisserie style versus traditional, just laying it down there. Do you think the times would change on that a little bit?
That's going to affect the cook no matter what, because you
Yeah.
got you're managing the fire at that point. You're doing more, making sure you get the coals where you want it to be. So certainly the altitude is going to play a difference in that, especially when it comes to oxygen to the fire. Um, but
And I
yeah,
don't know that anywhere that we cook that we're moving so much out of
out of
sea
norm.
level. Yeah, out of
Yeah.
what we're normally doing.
Yeah.
A few hundred feet here and there probably
It's not
isn't
going to
going
make
to
a difference.
make a big difference. Now, mind you, if all of a sudden we had a comp in Denver, then yeah, I might be taking it into more consideration where we're going to have to really watch it and we're going to have to take rotations. But outside of that, I don't know that we would really
Yeah.
need
Yeah, I
really
know.
need
I
to.
know. There's some people in the competition world that will try to take account for that, but those are the ones that go, to Georgia or Florida, um, or they may go somewhere on the East Coast where they're a little higher up.
Sure.
Um, Here in Texas, from I don't think I've noticed a change from cooking here in North Texas to Houston or when we did it in Lubbock. Um, I don't think we've ever noticed a difference. At least I haven't. Um, Certainly, it may kind of play a effect in when you're starting the fires. I would assume, but depending on what you're cooking with, for us for drums, it's just getting the drums hot enough and it's gonna cook. Um, but I mean, every little thing is gonna affect the outcome and how long it's gonna take.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, I'm not afraid to adjust the temperature. The brisket is taking a little bit longer. I'll crank it up a little bit more. If it's cooking a little bit too fast, I'll dial it down. Same thing with like the ribs and chicken. I'm not afraid to kind of adjust the temperature. Usually, that's what I'm doing anyway.
Yeah.
Um, Especially where someone's getting close to the drum. Y'all really kind of gotten used to it where you'll look at it and say, "Hey, this is sitting at 350. Is that what you want?"
Yeah.
Or hey, it's climbing up. And then we'll tell you, hey, just dial it back a little bit. Um, but yeah, I don't think. I mean, like I said, I don't think it plays a lot into it here in Texas. Certainly, I mean,
Yeah.
if you cook a lot, it might. But for us,
I think if you're moving around that much, like some of these comp guys that are like you said, Randy, that are going from the East Coast to down south to West Coast, I think those are the people who are going to see more of a difference in their
yep,
cooks than we are necessarily.
yeah, and certainly what the biggest thing is when is I think we talk about too is when you're going from the it's mainly flavor profiles. Like here in North Texas is
Mhm.
going to be different from West Texas or East Texas or South Texas, Houston area. Certainly is different than here versus, Kansas City or
Right.
Georgia, Florida. They're all different flavor profiles. So you kind of have to ask, hey, um, what are they like? I know some people have said they'll kind of get there early and kind of go to a barbecue place or two and just kind of see what's there locally. Um, but I mean, most of the time for us, we're just going to roll with what we got and take our chances. As long as
Yeah,
we
too.
like the outcome, that's one thing that matters. I mean,
Right.
yeah, we want to win, but we're just out there to have some fun. Whatever happens,
Yeah.
happens. We're
If
out
you're
there to
not having fun
create
while
some
you're
memories.
cooking, yeah, if you're not having fun while you're cooking, you might as well not be doing it.
Exactly.
The back. facts on that one. That's a big fact for sure. Got to have fun with it. Got to do the little things. I mean, don't people do take it super serious, and or people have. We've seen people on the opposite side have too much fun with it.
Yeah.
Notice we said had a little fun, and Randy's seen a guy have to sprint a good while to make turn-in time. So I think that's the key is like what we do is if you're out there competing yourself is have your people, have somebody manage the clock for you. Because if Randy had to do it all, I don't think, not to say he couldn't do it. I think it'd just be a little bit more challenging to have to watch the time, have to do this, especially at the Royal when you have a tight window for turn-in times and it's a walk to begin with. Need to start working out, stretching.
Yeah, you're going to get your workout this week because we're going to park across the highway. Across the highway.
Need to start training.
You got to run across. You're going to play Frogger.
Let's go.
Well, we didn't make Brisket turn in. Why? He didn't make it across. He didn't make it across. But no, definitely, like I said, if this comes out and you hear it should be out before this weekend. We'll be at El Dorado Chevrolet. Come out and join us. Have a cigar, beer. Let us know again if you have any other questions and stuff, or you want to try a product. We will definitely give it a shot, give it a try. Anything else y'all want to talk about?
Ain't nothing else I want to talk about.
Nothing.
You know what I want to talk about?
I don't have anything else.
We have nothing.
That's it. We ain't gonna talk about no sports because Cowboys suck. They suck just like the OU. OU still sucks.
Boy, you were yelling at your own team. You haven't seen the quarterback do
I'll
good.
tell you what,
trash.
I'll say it right here. Quinn Ewers is not a good starting quarterback. Our best chance that we got is Arch Manning. I'm going to go ahead and say Arch Manning should be starting. If he was starting, that game would have been over by the first quarter.
I mean, they pretty well put him to bed after that, though.
It only took them 3 quarters.
Hey, they still got it done though.
A win is a win, right?
A win's a win, but he plays like that this weekend against Georgia. It's gonna be a long game. You're really gonna see me.
If he played like that and won you a national championship, would you care how he played? The answer is no.
Nah, he'd still have something to say.
I still would. I say, hey, we could have dominated more if it had been
some money on the spread or something. They not cover the spread or something? Is that what's going on?
They covered the spread, but I want it to be worse than that 49-0.
Yeah, it could have gotten really ugly. But I was telling a friend that's an OU fan, and he was like, "Man, it sucks. It's hard." And he kept trying to say, "Well, OU still controls the series." It's like a simple Google search will prove that wrong. But OU did have a young team, so I think that rivalry will definitely pick up over the next couple of seasons. And we should be good. We should be good to go, I think, with the Red River rivalry or shootout, whatever you prefer.
Yeah, we'll call it the shootout. We don't have to be politically correct here.
Our team looked
Red River shootout.
The Cowboys looked like trash, which is about what we expected them to look like. Jordan Love looked on fire. I think that's why Ed drafted him in his fantasy league.
Smart man.
Smart man. Not smart. Drafting Aaron Rodgers. That's a don't. Don't ever do that. Hopefully he retires. You never have to worry about it.
That's a do not do.
Number one.
Top of the list, Aaron Rodgers. Although I will say I'll be interested to see how he plays tonight now that he doesn't have his head coach there.
They keep blaming it on the head coach. And I think who was it? Shannon Sharp said it best. He undercut him the day he didn't show up for mandatory minicamp.
Agreed.
Yep.
He got away with it. If I'm a player and I'm like, hey, wait a minute, this is the quarterback. He can do what he wants. I'm gonna do what I want. There's no team.
Why do you think what's the name hasn't signed yet?
He wants to get paid. That Cowboys need to go ahead and trade for him. Pay him.
They don't matter. Cowboys ain't gonna be able to stop the run. They hadn't stopped the run since 1902.
I don't care. I just want to trade. Just don't let the Eagles get him back for cheap.
I mean,
You
you
could be
can't
worse. You could have the Eagles coach and cuss out your own fans, but
and then try to bring your kids to the press conference to
correct.
mitigate that a little bit.
Yeah.
Come
That to
on,
me, is the dumbest thing ever. Like, do you
come
not know
on.
what city you know what city you live? Just wait till you struggle again at home. Watch what happens then.
Right.
You don't amp up that crowd at all.
Agreed.
At all. The Philly is not one to give them any kind of ammo, and you did. So good luck. But yep, that's all I got. We don't need a Ed's team's doing good, which we expected. The Packers.
I mean, we're getting there. It's
Slowly but surely.
I mean,
No,
Love.
no one in the
I think this
playoffs. They
weekend.
will.
Yeah, I think Love really proved that he's fully back and he's ready to play this past weekend. So the Packers are a fairly young team still, so we'll see how it goes when it comes down to crunch time. How they do. I'm not getting my hopes too high.
You still got to play Detroit.
Yeah.
Which I don't think
I mean,
Detroit looked good now, but here's the thing though: Detroit looked good against Dallas. So remember, it's
Right.
Dallas, and their defense is very hurt and not that great. That's a proven thing. So I hate that people every time they beat the Cowboys, it's like, oh, they're the Super Bowl favorites now.
Yeah.
But when we beat a team, oh well, they're trash. They're not really that good. So wait a minute, it can't be both. You can't have it both ways.
I mean,
they did look good, but like I said, they got a lot of firepower.
Yeah.
They lost somebody for the year, a defensive lineman for the year. So I've heard trade rumors coming down the pipe with certain person, but we'll see. I don't know. Detroit's all in.
I mean, the NFC North right now, like to be 4-2 and to be at the bottom of the division. Come on. When's the last time that happened? It's been a hot second. So
Yep.
it's going to be a tough division the rest of the year.
Yeah,
so.
it'd be tough.
At least we didn't get spanked at home like the Cowboys.
Cut his mic off.
On Jerry's birthday? Jerry's birthday?
That's what he gets, too. What would have been funnier is a spanking, and then, what's his name? Derrick Henry set like the all-time rushing record against his team on Jerry's birthday. That would have been funny. But I think Randy said it best. I'm going to put it to bed. Randy said it best. He never really wanted to come to Dallas. He used that as a ploy to get more money.
Yeah.
Which happens all the time. And then now he has to go with it. It's a lie. They didn't ever call. They never did this, which they probably never did. But I don't think he ever truly wanted to come to Dallas.
Yeah.
But that's all I got. Let's wrap it up.
Yep. Let's wrap
Does
it
Ed
up.
have final words that he would like to say this week?
No.
Give me another couple weeks. Give me another couple weeks.
He said, nah.
I said, I'll say this. I'll go with, we always want to see what you're cooking. So go ahead and, tag us in whatever you're posting next time you cook, right? Hit us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and grill on, guys. We'll catch you in the smoke next time.
Oh, nice. I love it. Randy?
Bring his tune to my...
I don't even know. I think we should just end the show with that.
Yeah.
Go for it.
But yeah, on the real, we'll be there at El Dorado Chevrolet this Saturday, so Friday and Saturday. So if you're in the area, come out and see us. Come out and see. We're gonna have a car, so take a band on Friday night, as they always do. We're gonna cook there, and you want to hang out with us. You want to cook next to us. We'll be towards the end, as always. I'll be there Friday morning because my truck's got to get serviced. It's got to get ready for the Royal. Yeah, get ready for that trip. And of course, if you need something for the Royal, be sure to hit us up. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Just let us know what you need so we can go ahead and prep it. Make sure it is in the trailer when we roll out. If you hadn't tried our stuff, what are you waiting for? Give it a try. Let us know what you think. Because you never know, you just may get hooked on that big taste, big flavor, big Salinas.
That's it right there. Come check us out. If you do want to sponsor us for the Royal or this weekend, just let us know. We can definitely work something out. Like I said, from there, give us a shot. Go check it out. It is absolutely right. Hit us up with those pictures of what you're cooking with. Definitely give our sauces and rubs a try. You will not be disappointed. Don't just try it once, try it twice. Like I said, anything you do, you're out there cooking, you're out there grilling, you're out there smoking a cigar, watching the Cowboys get destroyed on Jerry's birthday, or watching Green Bay win, as long as it ain't the Chiefs. Do it with love, do it with passion, and Big Salinas, we'll see you down the road.